Hey everyone, welcome to the Madness Collective. I am still trying to get my show legs back, so please bear with. So, if you're tuning in for the first time, I am Creston Muhammad. This is the Madness Collective. We try our best to recap the headlines, but it's a lot of crazy, so we do what we can, okay? Usually, I am joined by my co-host, Antoine, but he is taking a much-needed sabbatical, and he will be back soon, promise. But, however, I got the militia hold me down, and tonight, I guess I'm safe. Sitting in for co-host is Danielle. Hey, Danielle. My guest is Danielle.
Yeah, hey.
And tonight we have a first-time guest co-host. Yes. Morinike Joy Evans in the house.
Hey, everybody. What's up?
I'm supposed to be like saying what people do: director, and producer,
yeah,
and political activist.
Boom. Okay. Always.
and then I don't want to shortchange you, but you on here all the time. But writer, dancer, more things.
Actress,
flyness. Oh my God, yeah, duh. The thing I should have started with. Okay, got it. Right, got it. So tonight, obviously we got some more to talk about with soon to be President Harris. I am putting that is happening. This is what we want, right? Yeah,
make it so.
Right. But before we get to that, we're going to kind of try and mention 2024 Olympics because that's happening. Delta Airlines down bad, still down bad, going to be down bad, I think, for the rest of the week.
Wow.
It's ugly. It's ugly out there. The Secret Service lady. So on Monday, we had a pop-up show, and I'm meant to be like, I think this lady going to lose her job. So she has since resigned from that job. So bye-bye. And then couple of stories, and then we're gonna get to Kamala. So that's what's happening tonight on the Madness Collective. Right. So Friday is the opening ceremony for 2024 Olympics. It's also Danielle's birthday on Friday.
Yay!
like a little excitement, please.
Anniversary. My anniversary.
Yeah. You said your what anniversary?
My anniversary. I'm like Mariah. I celebrate anniversary.
Okay, I like that. Okay, all right. Okay. Hey, Khadijah. Hey, Karen. Hey, Tion. What's up?
Hey.
Yeah, Karen says happy early birthday, Danielle.
Thank you.
So, Morinike, there's a lot of going in and out of.
I'm seeing it. I'm like, let me find the. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. It is a flow. It's a flow. All right. So, Olympics tonight. Okay. So, Friday's opening ceremony, the River Seine. I had this I was like, let me pronounce this correctly. First time in modern history, the opening's being held outside a stadium. It's 100 boats carrying more than 10,000 athletes and performers. Carrying the U.S. flag will be LeBron and Coco Gauff. So this whole question about is the water safe?
Precarious over there in Paris and Seine. I don't know if I would be swimming in it, but
No.
Keep on.
So they, because the river has not, I think it's been like 100 years since it's been safe to swim in. And so they've been trying to do this cleaning system ever since it got announced that they were going to have it. And recently the mayor swam in it to show people that the E. coli levels were low enough that it was okay to swim in.
Any aftermath of that, or are we still good? Is she still good?
These are the questions, Morinike. I'm like, is she glowing? Because I want to see. Can we see a picture of her?
Right.
Yeah.
There was some guy who swam in it, and he's one of the people who challenged the mayor and somebody else to swim in it. And he swam in, and he was like, where are they? They postponed it like 2 times.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's
okay.
She got ringworm.
So wait, Karen said they're gonna be swimming in the poop water, and she got ringworm. I don't want that. Ew, gross.
Mm-hmm.
There is a new sport that's been added this go around for the first time. Breakdancing, which apparently is now called breaking. Has it been called breaking for a minute? Am I just old?
I mean, the movie was called Breaking.
Yeah, but that was because we was cool.
It was cool with no G. I don't know.
They've been calling it breaking for a minute. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Because I was like, what these white people up to? All right. Last go round, they had added skateboarding and surfing. August 9th and August 10th is the breakdancing competition. I'm gonna try and check for that because it sounds kind of interesting.
I'm rewatching it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be watching it. I hope it's not cringy. I just hope it's not.
Don't you hate when you gotta like steel yourself and get ready just in case it might be cringy? Don't you hate that? You're like,
I got some insider information that they're going to be adding. I don't know if I'm supposed to be saying this, but baton twirling.
oh,
I met this lady today. I was giving the lady a ride, and she was like, "Yeah, I used to be a baton twirler, and she had all these competitions. She was a model, and she has a modeling agency. I didn't really get her name. Anyway, but in 2028, no, yeah, when it's here in LA,
okay.
yeah,
Awesome.
and she'll be the judge. I was like, "Go, girl! I look forward to that." I should have got her information. Shoot, her husband, girl, she said her husband called it a blue collar sport.
Really? Baton twirling is blue.
All you need is the one baton, and you could do it anywhere. You don't have to.
You know what? You don't need like what's some of them high end ass sports that you need all this equipment for, like hockey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's a bunch of
Things. Yeah, he came from that kind of background. He called it because he was helping her with getting things prepared, and he was calling it. He was like, "I don't have time for this blue collar sport."
Ooh.
Then he had the nerve to ask her for like we should go and see these such and such events. She was like, "I got tickets. I don't know about you."
Right, you're not invited anymore.
And also, please don't make me swing my blue collar fucking baton in your direction because this could hurt. Okay, ugh, God. Yeah, Karen. Wait, that horse stuff is very, very wealthy. You need a lot of funds to do that. Okay. Gymnastics. Obviously, we're checking for Simone. Yeah. Period. Simone. And then track and field. It's once again America versus Jamaica.
I'm going for both. My husband's Jamaican. So either way, we win.
We winning.
Well, what I love is when it's an American runner whose family's originally from Jamaica. So she's Jamaican, but she's, was born and raised here. I think like Gabby Thomas, who went to Harvard. I did not know anything about her. I saw her on TV. I was like, who is this lovely young lady? I was like, oh, she went to my school. Yay. So still look, checking for Shikari. Like, look, love all the girls with the track and field. So this will be fun. Delta.
Golf is going to be doing the torchbearer.
I said it, but I may have said it too fast. Is LeBron and Coco are doing the male and female carrying it's the flag. They're carrying the flag, right? Flag bearers.
They're carrying the flag, yeah.
Yeah.
Representing the U.S. They're leading the whole, yeah.
I was like, wait, did she say torch? I was like, that don't sound right. Unless can we say
Because who is doing the torch? That's a big thing.
It is a thing. It's a whole thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, and if we got some torches, can we set some GOP stuff on fire? I'm so sorry. Let's move on to Delta. Delta Airlines is, I don't know if anybody's been trying to fly out of Atlanta on Delta in the last week. I'm so sorry to y'all because that has sounded real, real crazy. So we'll get a little bit into it. What'd you say, Danielle?
Good luck with that.
Right. So this kicked off all this drama with airlines last Thursday. Actually, I was trying to check into a hotel with a homie, not a guy, just like a good girlfriend at a staycation in LA. And we couldn't check in. We're like, what the fuck's going on? Then we got upstairs because we bougie trying to get some room service on the app, and nothing has happened. I'm like, oh my God, are we under attack? Well, not quite. So what happened was a software update issued late Thursday night by the cybersecurity firm called CrowdStrike, and that crashed the Windows software. So everyone was like, what they thought was going to happen for Y2K. This is what happened. But also think about like that in that era, we weren't as online as we are now, right? Like we were, right? Like there was not all this digital shit. You could still get an actual key for your hotel. We couldn't officially check in. Somebody had to walk us upstairs because the car keys were not working. Okay. So what's popping with Delta is over 6,000 flights have been canceled since last week, hundreds more since yesterday. They estimate more than 500,000 passengers impacted. They got passengers and employees sleeping in the airport.
It's a mess.
Yeah, a hot mess. Why is it only Delta? Like, why? What?
these are the questions. So what is being said is, although most airlines were able to recover and resume normal operations by the end of the weekend, Delta has been able to fix problems with its crew tracking system. So they weren't able to find the pilots and flight attendants it needed to fly its planes.
Whoa.
Right. So sounds like someone was sleeping in the airport, but like they can't find them on the computer. I'm like, can you maybe put some air tags on some people? I don't know.
Just have them show up at a counter, call them on the speaker, something.
Okay, mind you, Atlanta's airport is so fucking big. And then I saw a picture of all the people's luggage. Just that gives me anxiety, girl. Ooh, Jesus. But just as an FYI, I'm one of those people who put air tags in her luggage, and I have tracked my shit when they were like, "Oh, it's over here." I'm like, actually, no, it's over here, and can y'all get it here, please?
Right.
So FYI. So family, homie, Mayor Pete, hometown, who is out, now head of Department of Transportation. He said DOT can penalize an airline for an unfair and deceptive practice if it finds that the airline provided inadequate customer assistance when flights are canceled or travel plans significantly changed. So he was like, look, start with the airline first, but yeah, holler at us, call us, put in, let us know what's popping, and we gonna see what we can do to make this better. It's already costing Delta $163 million and counting. That's ugly. That is really ugly. This dude, I think in the article I had, he was like, I've spent money on parking, like 12-hour parking. I had to get food. Like he was like talking about all the money he's already spent. He's like, y'all gonna give me $24 gift card? I think not. Yeah, it is ugly. Okay, wait. Sorry, I'm a little behind on comments. Even Spirit.
I'm here.
No worries. Not Delta's in trouble because even Spirit got together. That's what I heard.
Spirit and Southwest was like, tag, you're it. Your turn.
Right? Yeah, Southwest was like, we ain't gonna have a repeat of what we had last December. We got our shit together. So that part. Bev, at least you were like, wait. So you were trying to get to Atlanta? Bev stay on the road. So I'm glad you were able to go home. Like I have family in Atlanta because I was thinking about like would I have been trying to get out of Atlanta? I just would have been like, I guess I'm about to post up with y'all for another week or two. Because I mean, like, how am I getting out of here? People couldn't get cars. Like somebody said they were also trying to find trains up out of there, and trains were getting like Amtrak was getting sold out. Cats was trying to go. Yeah. So the crew issue, Bev said the crew issues that apparently on the same system. Many cities don't actually have crew, so they needed FedEx to fix it. How about that?
All right. And then I heard on NPR, what's the company that screwed everything up? What's the name of the
CrowdStrike?
Yeah, that they were giving people $10 vouchers or gift cards to say sorry. Whose idea was
I'm sorry, $10 in this economy? What, where, how?
That's 50 cents. No, thank you.
Look, that's coffee, maybe.
A Big Mac.
Okay, it ain't even a smoothie. Okay, like, come on. Okay.
You can't even get a drink in LA.
Not at all. So just back to the whole software update drama. They're calculating Fortune 500 companies alone lost more than $5 billion in direct losses. And then let's see. Hardest hit were healthcare, which is frightening. Banking, also frightening, including the airlines. So I saw a tweet where this guy was like, we were at the grocery store and it was a crazy long line. And they said this older woman went straight to the front of the line because she was writing a check.
Oh.
She's like,
have those.
Right. Like I was like, I'm sure there's some in the drawer somewhere, but like I ain't got them on my person.
No.
I mean, you know who does? My mom does. We could have been in the store like deuces because G keeps some checks on her. I'm not mad. Also, I was supposed to be trying to report. Oh, what did he say? If you get a chance, hit like and subscribe. Yes, do that. See, this is the help I be needing more, Nikkei.
You're like, yes. Great idea.
Right. What Jason said, do that. So I was supposed to be checking in for like jury duty last Friday. I couldn't. I literally could not. I was like, I mean, look, thanks CrowdStrike, and then even yesterday, today's Wednesday, Monday, I was trying to do it. And then I finally called the number and they're like, yeah, so we know some of y'all trying to like, check in. We get it. And just call back later. Well, shit. Okay.
I just thought about it too. I had a traffic ticket and my court date is tomorrow. And then I was like, oh shoot, I need to go and see what that's about to try to extend it. And now trying to go online to like get it. And then the site was all messed up. And then so I called and they answered. I was like, oh, y'all answered fast. And one was like, she didn't even let me get it all out. And she was like, oh yeah, it's for tomorrow. I can have you extended, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, sure.
Thanks.
I was actually going to go and try to see if I could be like, but my birthday's tomorrow.
Oh, sorry. Super random. Danielle, remember I shared with y'all me going to the DMV and they had made me take a surprise test and I didn't appreciate that. Danielle, did you get your situation sorted out? We share DMV stories here.
Yeah, I did. So I went to the DMV to get my license renewed because it expires on my birthday and to get the real ID. And child, why they say we can't accept your passport, the system wasn't accepting it and it needed a second form of verifiable identification. And I was like, excuse me, I'm sorry, why? And he was like, I don't know, it's like a Homeland Security thing. I was like, why am I in the system?
Right.
I do not to nobody. So I need to call my cousin back because I called him. He's in the FBI, and I was like, cousin, what's going on? I had to call him back and see if he could figure something out.
Because it expires on Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was able to get my birth certificate because I had a copy with me just in case. And they're like, no, we can't get a copy. We need the original. So I had to come home and get my original.
Oh my gosh.
And then
see, you know what this is? This is also indicative of Black people trying to register to vote in some of these red states. So we're gonna address that later, but just note, okay? Okay, so I want to highlight Karen's comment. She said, I think Target just said they're gonna stop taking checks. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that's a good idea. Given what can go wrong with like one keystroke, I don't know. Beverly said, pro tip, have a written version of your prescription for backup and you can fax it and keep a $100 bill in your bra.
In your bra.
I mean, again, times when we should keep money on us right now.
Yeah.
So the woman who was the head of the Secret Service, her name was Kimberly Cheadle. She's resigned. This was a bipartisan push to let her go. And we sort of kind of a little bit talked about the shooting on Monday. Whatever. She didn't answer a bunch of questions they had. She was like, I don't have an answer for you.
She was making me mad, and I don't give a damn about that man. But I was like, "What are you doing?"
But it's an ongoing investigation. So how much can she actually say?
Well,
so said something.
Marnike, thank you for saying it because I didn't really want to say it that way, but you said what we were all thinking. And Danielle, but Christopher Wray, I think, was on today, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, here's the answer for this. Here's the answer." Like he was very forthcoming. And maybe he would have been even regardless of her performance, but I think he was very much so like, oh, I'm gonna have some answers for you guys. Cause she was like,
you ain't about to put me in no trick bag and give me answers and I'm just gonna come and bite me in the ass later.
She was like not parceling out, not even just like the little bit to make it seem like she had done any work. Like that's the part.
Right. They're like, it's been almost
that here. I just still need to find this out. And this is what
like we about to be on 2 weeks. It's like week and a half since something grazed his ear, allegedly a bullet. But like, you know, well, again, can we see a medical report? Because
we should be able to.
Okay, whatever. So, okay, I don't want to linger on this topic. Monique and I had talked about this when we were prepping for the show, but actually, I changed that to protect Black people because that's really what needs to happen. But the story of Sonia, is it Massey is how we say her last name?
I think it's Massey, yeah.
I'm saying her story, the murder of her. And we don't usually actually on the show cover the police shooting cases, because the murder cases by the hands of the cops, because I hate it and I want to fight, and it makes me very angry. So, but so she called 911 for help because she feared there was an intruder. Thank God there's body cam footage. The officer searched outside the house, and actually they came to the door. And when they came to the door, she seemed confused. She was like, "Don't hurt me, please God," and I don't know what to do. So automatically, it's like, is there a mental health issue? You know, like,
Right.
right. And so in the article that I read is like, it's unclear why they went inside, right? Because if y'all looked around the house and didn't see anybody, and she didn't say, "I think somebody's in the house with me," but they took their asses inside. And then she was searching her purse for her ID when the cop pointed out that there was a pot on the stove and the flame was on. And so she moves the pot toward the sink and then asked the cop. The cop started like backing up, and she was like, "Where are you guys going?" And they jokingly said, "Away from your hot, steaming water." And then she says, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." Again, I'm sorry. Does that sound like how else do you read that? Like, so apparently crazy cop dude read it like as a threat, loses his shit and pulls out his gun and yells at her to put down the pot. Here's the other part. She fucking apologizes. She apologizes and she ducks down and he shoots her 3 times. So after the shooting, the other deputy that was with him says he was going to go get his medical kit, and killer cop says, "No, that was a headshot, dude. She's gone. She's done." So he has been charged with first-degree murder, aggravated battery with a firearm, and official misconduct. He is being held without bond, and he has pled not guilty. So Kamala says she deserved to be saved. She may have said a couple more words, but I didn't get her full quote. I just, it got addressed. But Biden, who was still at home recovering from COVID, said this was a reminder that all too often Black Americans face fears for their safety in ways many of the rest of us do not. Thank you.
Period.
Right. And he said, when we call for help, as all of us as Americans, regardless of who we are, where we live, should be able to do so without fearing for our lives. Thank you, white man. And then he says, Congress must pass the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act now. Our fundamental commitment to justice is at stake.
Yeah.
So,
I believe Kamala said the same in terms of passing that law. I didn't dive all into it, but yeah.
Yeah, and I figured, the quote that I see didn't say, but I assumed.
Yeah,
because why would she not? So, it's about that whole like getting Congress to pass the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, and we're going to actually segue talking about Harris for 2024. Is if we keep the White House, take back the House, and get the Senate, keep the Senate, we can pass a bunch of shit.
Yeah,
like a bunch of shit. Bev said she knew the devil entered her home and called the saints. That's true. That's facts. Yeah, her soul is right, and he goes straight to jail. Yeah, she said Karen said we knew how bad it was with how fast they charged him with murder. I mean, charged him with murder without bond. Like, I don't know how he thinks he's about to get out of this, but
yeah. But again, the damn things could be so different if there wasn't that cam. And I have not looked at the video and I don't want to, but
I'm not going to.
This shit happens all the time and there's no proof. And so there was no way around it. In this case, even though we've also seen cases of video and them still being like, "Oh no, I understand why they were scared," but just disgusting.
100%. So let's take back this country for real. let's get this Black woman in the White House, like at the top of the ticket. Hello, President Kamala Harris. Yes, please. So the enthusiasm, which we talked about on Monday, is just like through the roof, over the moon, loving it. So part of the reason we have Morinike with us tonight, not just because she is dope, but also partly because she's dope. She was on the call on Sunday night. So Win with Black Women, and it was over 44,000 women?
Yeah. It's so crazy. It probably like you, I got texts and links from like 5 to 10 different people. And it was supposed to start at 6 o'clock. Or maybe it was 5. And anyway, I was like 15 or so minutes late, and then I couldn't get in. And then different people were texting like, "Oh, we have a Clubhouse." So they were going to put it on Clubhouse. Couldn't get in. or that was a little bit of a hot mess for any of you who did go on the Clubhouse, because there were like hundreds of people there, but the organizers were kind of talking over. I think they were just like playing the audio of the Zoom. So it was like conflicting. And then all of a sudden they were like, oh, they opened it back up, the Zoom. The great thing about it, which I found out later, was that, you know, we get shit handled. So the COO of Zoom, because they only were expecting 1,000 and then maybe 10,000. The COO, like, they were in real time doing the tech to make sure people could get on, and it grew to 44,000 of us, and it was freaking phenomenal. I couldn't believe I was just in this space with these women, you know, some that we've admired forever, and some I had no idea the work they have been doing, because they've been meeting since 2020.
Like, and they meet once a week or like
every Sunday. And they opened it up, and, you know, they mobilized. And I mean, I can go more into it, but like, they were ready. Yeah.
Just, I mean, you're describing it, but just like, overall, just that feeling for you of belonging. That's what Danielle and I.
Belonging. The feeling of, I don't know, it felt so special and so historic and so powerful, and I think also hopeful. I think, you know, we came in like kind of like, okay, let's hear what they're talking about. The women were ready. You know what I mean? And so it was praying, it was mobilized. But one of the cool things, you know, a lot of people ask like what came out of it. It was like, and I don't want to give like specifics, those who were on the call, but I'm not trying, you know, sometimes everyone doesn't need to know our actual moves, but there was one very powerful woman was like, I'm only gonna focus on delegates. And she was like, we are going to make sure that we have more than the amount of delegates needed, and quickly. And so they were already calling out the states that night of who they got to commit.
Oh my gosh.
We're like, okay, I'm making this up because I can't remember exactly, but it was like, we've got Louisiana, we've got Texas, and they were saying these delegates. And so that was her focus, right? Another woman was like, I'm focused on fundraising. It's like, no matter what, this is going to be about money because we got to get the stuff, you know, the stuff out. And so she's like, here's the link, all of you get in, share it with people. Let's see what we can get. And we know we got over, you know, 1.5, I believe.
Yeah, 1.5. I think in like 2 minutes, it said.
Yeah. And then, oh my goodness. Like I went to an HBCU, but I have never like heard Janetta Cole speak before, like, you know, in that close of it made me want to go back in time and go to Spelman. It was so powerful and so inspiring. And I mean, from delegates to, you know, getting out to vote to organizing, you know, and the fact that there was this one woman, they call her Reese with the receipts. That's what I will say. And she already had the talking points, because, you know, they're going to say this misinformation, that information. And she does have those talking points. If you follow her on Instagram, Reese Colbert, and there's like a whole list that I think you're going to put up, but we'll put it somewhere. But there's women activated to do, you know, all the different things, all the strategies. It was phenomenal. It was like you're on for like 2.5, 3 hours. I did not get tired. It went from one woman to the next. And, you know, it was just great. It was absolutely phenomenal. I couldn't believe it. My daughter, I was like, you know, Martin Luther King Jr.'s daughter was on there.
Oh, wow. Aw.
It was just so many like phenomenal people were on this call, and some that are really like behind the scenes leaders. And I just want to add one more thing is, I think what we don't know that really happened during this call for Biden to drop out, several people said, you're not going to skip over us. So they were organized even in that. They were like, you're not going to skip over us to do this. And so they really fought that battle for all of us to be like, the only way it's going to go down is like this. And it's phenomenal. And I think it just gave hope of like, you know, what we can do and what we already do, you know, but like everyone mobilized. I don't care where you were from. I don't care what sorority, whatever. It was just phenomenal.
I think that level of enthusiasm, which I just pulled up, is what's giving me so much hope. Yeah. Right. Like, which is actually helping me stay optimistic about what we can achieve. Right. Because there's this huge groundswell. And it's not just us. I mean, look, we know, to your point, Monique, we always in the trenches. Okay. Like that is what we do. That is who we are. Pros, cons, we be tired, but you know, we must keep it moving. But the fact that the men did the next night went with Black men, like I said, Danielle and I were on a California like Black women's call, Black collective call. And then
the white women are getting together.
The white women are tonight.
My friend was like, the gays, we're doing something. I'm like, the gays. Like everybody. And it's so cool because such a diverse group of people in my feed are all in and re-energized and ready to do the work. Like it is a lot of hard work. I kind of think it's kind of good because you know how you get like exhausted. We know because we're doing all the things. We could do this. You know what I mean? We could do this. We won't get as if it was a year and a half of just, you know what I mean? So let's just like use that energy.
Absolutely. Sorry, my lighting is doing its own thing. I don't know why. Okay, Mike, what's up?
So I've been meaning to look it up, but I was like, that number 44, what does it mean? And the number, I just looked it up. The number 44 can have multiple meanings, including a message from the guardian angels or spirit guides, and represents achievements, hard work, and building a foundation for future goals. It can be a reminder to stay focused and committed to your goals, even when faced with challenges. Come on, somebody.
Boom, that's it. That's what it is.
It's everything aligning. That's what I'm loving. And I'm gonna talk about it a little bit more toward the end when we mention Biden's speech tonight. But how all this ended up coming together after those 3 to 4, I think it was like 4 weeks of just chaos and fear and I know Danielle was like, no, there was always a plan, and there might have been.
Somebody else that I follow on Twitter, on X or whatever, they kind of said the same thing, but they said it in a different way. But I was like, I said the same thing, so I'm with you.
Right. And I do have a tweet that I'll get to it later on, where this person is like, they're calling him Joe Kenobi, like Joe B1 Kenobi. They're like, no, there was a plan. It just, we didn't know it, and it was terrifying, but hey, you know.
Yeah. But you know, the other thing I wanted to add, which really helped, which happened in that call, was, you know, talking about the delegates. They also were like, endorse now and endorse immediately. And so, because you know that if there's any little inkling of space in terms of what is reported on the news, oh, there's waffling, oh, there's not. So they're like, come out hard. And so that enabled the momentum and the coverage to be like this explosive, you know, support of her and these endorsements and the delegates, you know, so there was no question. So a lot of that, you know, I mean, some of it was planned or hoped to be planned, but it's still, everything has to still happen, you know, a certain way, or it could, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
So I'm not going to pull up on screen. Well, let's see what happens. What happens when I try this? No, that's not ideal. So anyway, I will just kind of read it. So turns out this 81-year-old man, everyone said was losing it, expertly outmaneuver every coup plotter against him in under 24 hours. None of what I detail below happened by osmosis. This was all teed up and executed by President Biden with the perfection only wisdom and experience can deliver. Right. So it talked about Biden dropping out without warning. Right. Because Danielle and I were talking about this Sunday morning. He was like, with his whole chest, I ain't going nowhere. Right. So he did it Sunday afternoon. RNC is done. Right. They have spent millions of dollars talking shit about him, talking about let's go Brandon. What y'all gonna do with all that merchandise anyway? So, and then he announced it on Sunday after the Sunday morning shows, right? So he was like,
Yes.
I'm not even giving you motherfuckers the opportunity
Nope.
to like kind of do the thing y'all do, because I don't fuck with y'all like that either, right? And then there was the nope. And then talking about what you just made a mention of is that catching him off guard and thwarting the efforts of what he called the coup plotters like Pinky and the Brain and the tech bros, and Danielle and I keep talking shit about these people, these guys, podcast bros, right? To replace him with a younger white male, right? And dump Kamala. Yeah. He was like, no, not doing none of that. Like, A, I'm out. B, it's my girl.
Yeah.
Right.
Period. Yeah.
Right. And they're saying he made the necessary calls on backgrounds to make sure the turnover was seamless. He trusted Kamala. Kamala trusted him. He made the campaign a turnkey operation for her.
Yes. It's done. So we just got to keep going.
Okay. Whoa. Right. And now
Papa Pope ain't got nothing on me.
Look, he was watching Scandal with the rest of us. Okay.
I'm telling you. Because that's how it had to go down.
What is it? B3, 6, 13?
I know we were supposed to be like trying to figure that out. I know. So now GOP, they floundering. They're like grasping at straws trying to figure it out. So back to quickly the enthusiasm, because I want to just finish mentioning that. The kids, the TikTokers, Gen Z, they are out in these streets, out in these TikTok streets, like going ham. So Charlie XCX, I don't know this child. Her album is called Brat, came out in June, came out last month. And so she sent a tweet that said Kamala is Brat. And so for those of us who are not in that generation.
He's like, I don't know what you're talking about, but okay.
But it sounds good, right? It sounds positive. And so look, Kamala's campaign was like, oh, we know what's up. They immediately changed the coloring like on the social media to match the color, the branding of her album. They're like, bet, thank you for that. Yeah. And so Charlie said, she says that being Brat is just about being that girl who's a little messy and likes to party and maybe says dumb things sometimes. I'm like, yeah, I'm aware. That happens.
Right.
So Kamala's social media team, they were on it. There's this whole coconut.
Yeah.
Realized that some people feel some kind of way about, but here's the quote. In case you're wondering, because for the longest time I was like, why y'all keep talking about these goddamn coconuts in connection
with Brats? I'm like, what?
I am confusion. I want to be down, but I don't know. Okay. So coconut. So Kamala had this quote. She said this thing at a speech a couple months ago. Maybe last year, I don't know. She said, I don't know what's wrong with you young people. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? She said, she was quoting her mother, right? She said, you exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you, right? So, hey, she got jokes and like, but connecting it back to like the homestead. And so now people are using the coconut emoji. There's one TikTok video that has more than like 2 million views and over 500,000 likes. The tag hashtag Kamala Harris is trending on TikTok. There's a social media post from this Gen Z organization called Dream for America that said Gen Z wants a Brat presidency. I can support that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Whatever the kids, whatever branding y'all want to go with, yes, let's do it. Also, I love this. There's a Democratic Lieutenant Governors Association is selling demo Brat merchandise and saying that all the 365 party girls will be riding to the polls in their demo Brat shirts to elect Kamala Harris and Democrats up and down the ballot.
Up and down.
Okay. And speaking of that, nearly 40,000 new voters have registered in the last 2 days. And so, ever since Sunday, there's an 83% were from people aged 18 to 34. Please check your voter registrations though in your state, especially if you live in Texas. Especially if you live in a red state. Please check. Just check. This guy on Twitter was like, you know what? Everybody kept saying check, and he was like, he's like, I know I'm registered because I vote all the time. He was like, why was my shit like inactive or something? He was like, see, here y'all go.
Here we go. Yeah.
Check it.
Actually, now.
What'd you say?
Yeah. I said check it now because I feel like there's still time to register for most for most
there
states.
is, like, for Texas, I think the last day is like October or something.
Yeah.
But like, don't wait till the end. You know what I mean? Like we
now.
midsummer, right? Like check now.
Yeah.
Questlove was on Twitch today doing his, DJ thing, and he mentioned it, right? Like he was like, I come to find out, he was like, I grew up in West Philly, right? Like that's my area. He's like, it's now called, it's something else, right? It's been gentrified, right? Like there is a new name for like West Philly, some hills, something, some fancy something. And so, when they redistrict shit, when they change the name of stuff, the redistricting happens. Right. And so he was no longer, there was something with his registration. So he's like, I'm glad I checked.
Yeah.
And then the Ohio Secretary of State, who of course is a Republican, made over 158,000 voters inactive.
For what reasons? Right.
Because there's these laws on the books that say, if someone has like been inactive for like 2 years, 4 years, whatever, you can just kick them off.
Yeah.
So they'll claim that they sent something to an address, right? And then they're like, well, we didn't get a response, so we get to make you inactive.
That should be illegal because your driver's license, how long does that stay active? Like 4 years? It should be as long as your driver's license is active, then your voter registration should be active. These people, you see what they be doing to you.
Yeah.
Okay. So also we got the voter registrations, we got money.
So much money. The Republicans already trying to say that Biden can't transfer them funds, but baby, we still got money. We still
look. And that on the call too, they were like,
"You Stack said that we can't have it. We still got money." Okay.
They're like, we have already checked. It transfers. It's legal. That's what they said Sunday night.
Yeah. Again,
like nice.
We don't play. Yeah.
That's the thing.
All the attorneys that are in this administration. You think we ain't vetted 500 times?
Right. Also, she been on the ticket.
She's been on the ticket.
It was Biden Harris. So now it's just Harris and whoever else gonna join, but that money's still connected to Harris. Yeah. So
nice try.
Right. So I think it's been a total of almost like 250 million, maybe now hitting 300 million since Sunday, from like from Win with Black Women, Win with Black Men, the PAC, Super PAC, and then just money that went straight through like her campaign through Act Blue. Like it's been like these different like sources of money just piling in, and so many of them were first time donors.
Yeah, that's the huge thing about it.
All right, I'm gonna put 10 on it. I'm gonna put 15 on it, like, and then made it recurring. Yeah. So this enthusiasm. Speaking of fundraising. From 2011 to 2013, Trump gave $6,000 to the Harris camp. Okay, and so
I love this so much,
right? And Ivanka donated $2,000 in 2014. There is a picture of that check, because of course there is. I love me some Jared Moskowitz.
Oh my gosh! I just can't wait. I just can't wait for this to come up. I want to hear what he has to say, because what can you say?
He addressed it in 2016. He said something. He was like, I gave money to everybody because he was like, because when I call, you take my call. Motherfucker, you gave $6,000 to somebody. What was that going to do?
Yeah, who, what?
Boy, bye. So somebody tweeted that she should put it on a billboard, the copy of the check. I support that.
Trump for Harris.
Okay, that's the type of campaign petty I fully support.
Yeah, let's do it. All the MAGA country, all the MAGA.
Yes.
Yes, please. And then, so what she did do with it in 2015, she redistributed those donations though, and she gave the funds to a nonprofit focused on Central American civil rights. I love that too. Yeah, she was like, I'm not keeping your dirty like fucking bankruptcy money. Like,
that's hilarious.
Right?
Don't try me.
Look,
right.
Look, like we all know that I actually don't need that, so I'm gonna just put that over here someplace.
Yeah.
So also what Danielle just mentioned, that they filed a complaint with the FEC arguing that the money raised, she can't use it. So they've literally they argue that transferring the funds would amount to little more than a thinly veiled $92 million excessive contribution from one presidential candidate to another.
No, because that's not his. No.
It's the same party.
It's the same party. And so much of that goes to the Democratic, like it's the act blue. So it's whoever your person is.
Hello.
On top of the fact that Harris was already on the ticket.
On top of that. And so one of the Dem campaign reps said, look, they can take shit to court and file all these motions if they want to, while we're gonna be over here signing up volunteers, talking to voters, and winning the election. I was like, this is so much fun now. It wasn't 2 weeks ago. It's fun now.
At all. It wasn't 2 days ago.
Bro, hello, Saturday. You're right. I'm sorry. It was terrifying. It was.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. And then this is one I love. Elon Musk said actually he is not donating $45 million a month to Donald Trump. Because that was the thing that came out of the RNC, is that he said he was going to be putting in $45 million a month.
Trump did he say that? Because I didn't watch it. Or did somebody say that?
So as Danielle noted,
45 said that. The orange guy said that. I don't think Elon said that, because I was like, that sounds excessive, and I feel like he wouldn't be giving that much money to any motherfucker.
What's wild though is it was said and then it was not refuted, so that long enough so that it was circulating. So everybody was like, oh my god, there's gonna be so much money being poured in. And today or yesterday, he was like, yeah, no. He's like, what's being reported in the media is simply not true. And this was, I dug deep into my Twitter feed because I wanted to find this. So Elon had tweeted this one dude, Vinod Khosla, some other like multi-millionaire, billionaire dude. And he was like, look, so Elon's outreach campaign to try and protect his $40 million a month, donations not going on. He said, hard for me, this is from the Vinod dude, hard for me to support someone with no values, who lies, cheats, rapes, demeans women, hates immigrants like me. He may cut my taxes or reduce some regulation, but that's no reason to accept depravity and your personal values. Do you want a president who will set back climate by a decade in the first year? Do you want his example for your kids as values? This was in response to Elon saying, come on, Vinod, Trump, Vance, let's fucking go. That's what he responded to him.
No, hold on. Don't get me up in your
He's like, you got me fucked up.
Yeah. You got the wrong one.
Right? Because that shit you giving you up on. Wait, what did Jason say? Yeah, no, he said he's probably gonna still give him money. He just ain't giving him $45 million.
I want to know what he is giving though. I'm like, what did you correct it with?
He just said a lower amount.
Right.
I see all that now.
Jason's comment was Elon may still give Trump money. Can't say it loud though. Still, don't he still owe money for that he borrowed from? Right. I'm like, don't you owe money to other people?
Right. It's all borrowed. It's not actual real.
And I think Tesla stock has gone down. Yeah, I think I just saw a headline about that. Tony said something about the voters. States are changing the expiration date on driver's licenses. Tennessee is now 8 years. Voter registration here is a voter fails to respond to a confirmation notice if they fail to update over a period of 2 straight regular November elections. So yeah, I think it's different in each state. But the fact that there is a law in the books that allows them to be like, we can purge you if we see fit to, terrifying. So now, we're in the phase of, which, I mean, we knew it was coming, but the bullshit. So there's the bullshit from, these racist GOP people. And then there's the bullshit from us, which Danielle and I have been, going back and forth on, just in terms of addressing it. So the bullshit from the racist GOP people is, we got this whole DEI bullshit. Yeah. This congressional clown from Tennessee called her a DEI vice president. They keep talking shit about her laugh. They say that they are saying she slept her way to the top. They're trying to make it an issue that she's attractive.
They're her.
Somebody was like, I'm sorry, we supposed to be mad that our president might be a baddie? How is this a bad thing? They said she is unvetted and untested. I'm sorry. What?
She is.
Right.
It almost is like so ridiculous. You don't want to argue it because it's so ridiculous of a waste of your time. But then people really believe that shit.
This is the issue, right? And so, and of course, Orange Hitler called her dumb as a rock. He said some other shit today. I didn't catch all of it, but it don't matter because it was something. Oh, called her a lunatic. You, sir, I would look in the mirror if I were you.
Right.
If, she's so dumb.
Let's talk about. Say that again, Danielle.
If she's so dumb, if she's such an idiot, let's see you debate her.
Yeah.
That part. Oh, thank you, Dion. So Tesla stock is down 33% today. And I think it's down some more.
That's a lot for just today.
Yeah. Bev said, by the way, young people don't know Willie Brown. That insult is old as fuck.
Also, they're like, and I don't.
Sorry. Right.
But you know, as a woman who is successful in their career, as we all are, it's so infuriating. And as a Black woman, absolutely. Because do you know how hard we worked to get here? The education, the many times we were passed over, the extra studying, the extra work, the extra free work, the extra all the shit that was done for us to get here, more than ready, more than 2 times better. You know what I mean? Because you have to be. And, you know, and then demeaning it to like a sexual, you can't, how do you sleep when you get voted in? Like when you're voted in, what are you talking about? So
let's talk about qualifications, okay?
Yeah.
First of all, went to great schools, graduated, okay, like top of her class at these great schools. 2 terms as a DA in California. To your point, elected. People voted her in 2 terms as district attorney, elected 3 times as the attorney general for California. Okay, then she was elected as a senator. So she has been serving. Right. She has been serving.
Right.
Orange Hitler. So you inherited millions. You lost millions more than you inherited. Filed bankruptcy multiple times, and you was the host of a reality TV show. Where the fuck was your qualifications to be president?
What are your qualifications?
What are they?
Still
not Nan. J.D. Vance wrote a book that people are like, okay, you trying to say you lived this one particular life? You didn't. Somebody called it Shillbilly Elegy.
Oh.
They're like, sir. Then who was funded by Peter Thiel, who does not believe in democracy, like that is stated. And then you became a senator like 2 days ago, like a year, like January 2023. Like you just got into public office.
Don't forget about how he got all of his jobs leading up to becoming.
Yeah, Peter Thiel. Yeah,
got him every single job. Walked him into whatever offices and got investors to invest in his companies. Did he even get him into one of the colleges?
I think he went to Yale for law school, but like basically, I think he got him one of his early internships while he was in school. I got to double check. I think that's what it was. And then he held his hand and walked him in to meet Trump. Like, you know, whenever that meeting first happened. Lord help me. Here's the funny part. What's up, Trish?
I realized that Peter Thiel was gay. I didn't know that was a known thing.
Yeah. That's been part of his like I'm not gonna use the word interesting, but like the kind of like, okay, what are you on right now, sir? Sorry, dog is saying things. Sorry. Okay, so here's been interesting about this pushback on the DEI of some of the places where it's coming from. Kevin McCarthy was like, I disagree with the DEI. Like, she is the vice president of the United States. She's a former U.S. senator. These congressmen saying it, they're wrong in their own instincts. His perspective on it is like, that's not going to get you where you want to politically. Like, he's like, so like, he ain't saying it because like he's
all down for the right.
It ain't because of that, but he's like, from a political standpoint, that's not the path you want to travel. Right. Lisa Murkowski, sorry, from Atlanta. I'm at Atlanta. That is even more funny. Alaska could not be worlds apart. She was like, of course it's not appropriate, for heaven's sake. What are they just going to say if you're not a white male, it's a DEI candidate? She's basically like, I'm sorry. No, right? I'm like, okay, bet. Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, he's apparently, allegedly, behind closed doors, he's been telling them, don't
do that.
Please don't.
All you're gonna do is alienate women, and they're gonna be like, ew, like why would you say, all the women who are successful or even not successful, they're not gonna be down with that. You're gonna alienate them. They're gonna be like, fuck you.
And then, like, do you really want to bring this up, talking about who slept with who, like, as a part of the conversation?
Porn star. Porn star.
Because again, as soon as Kamala is debating him, I really just want her to just break out and be like, so Trump, how many abortions have you paid for?
Exactly.
Wait, also, I'm sorry, that whole porn star thing. So this t-shirt is from when the court case was happening, and the only day he wasn't in court was on Wednesdays. So free on Wednesdays. So again, if we want to talk about who slept with who and when and how, and right, like
we have a whole documented court case, just the one of so many.
And also, how did you get all your wives?
Yeah. How did you get all your jobs? How did you get all your anything?
All the things.
All of them.
And we'll have a lot of these, although again, I'm sorry, just as FYI, we are going back to a show once a week. So just, y'all don't have to deal with that. But I'm going to try and get in some gems when I can. So in 2021, JD Vance, who someone mentioned in the comments, have changed his name at least twice, said this. He said, Democrats who don't have any biological kids are a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made, so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. Continues. How does it make any sense that we've turned our country over to people who don't really have a direct stake in it? Then he mentioned Kamala Harris, he mentioned Pete, and he mentioned AOC. So this was in 2021. Okay. And again, this is, who the fuck are you talking to? Do you know how many blended families are out there? Conservatives who have like you sound crazy, but this is the world that they live in. Like, and he went to Yale Law School. This is the type of shit. I'm like, you giving Ivy League a bad name, sir.
But did he get good there? We don't know.
No, I don't know. Then, and you know what, Danielle, we'll probably bring this up again because I want to spend a little more time on it. The bullshit from us. This whole, she put a whole bunch of black men in jail. So there was a video. I don't know if I've sent it to you yet or not, Danielle. Well, there's a black blogger, like podcaster dude. And he gets on, he's like, you know what? I was like, let me check on this because what we keep hearing, put thousands of black men in jail, put thousands of black men. He was like, how many thousands? Looks it up. He's like, so from 2004 to 2010, she was a DA for San Francisco. Roughly 1,956 misdemeanor and felony convictions for weed possession, cultivation, and sales, right? He was like, well, that's not thousands, right? Like that's just a little under 2,000. And then he goes, and here's the thing. And the number that actually went to jail for those convictions, 45.
45. Then I read, I don't know all the, but it might've been the same post where she also created a program to get those who had gotten in that situation out and like kind of more rehab than just being in jail and not having something to like look forward to in terms of their life and career after. So it's all BS. And I think that part of the reason, the focus wasn't fully on her, during the Biden Harris. So it was like, okay, let's just kind of let that slide and not fight that. But it's absolutely imperative to set the record straight because, and then, people are just this really is about changing our country and which direction it's going to go, and not in a hyperbolic way. It's like, they really want, like JD's talking about, in order to maintain the ruling class. I never thought of it that way, but that's really like, we don't think of America as like rule, but you have upper class, middle class, lower class, but they're trying to maintain ruling class, which is to them upper class, but even beyond, it's ruling class. They're trying to maintain that.
That is Project 2025.
Yeah, putting all of our rights back. So this is like some old like the British are coming bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's serious. It's serious. It's not just like, oh, I don't like, what she said to me on this day or what they did. This is about like, what is our country going to be
right
in 1 year?
Yeah.
Not 4. And then for the next 30, 40 years.
generation.
We're already fighting the battle in the courts, and we have to like turn it around now, or they've bought the courts.
It's a wrap. Yeah, Danielle, were you about to say something about the
I was just saying the name of the initiative that Kamala started, the Back on Track initiative, is what it was called.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
And I don't even feel like there was enough pushback when she was running for the presidency because, for whatever reasons, right? Like it just didn't get addressed enough. And the guy whose video I was watching, he even said, he was like, where did I get this thousands of Black men being locked up from? He was like, the internet.
Yeah, just word of mouth. Like, you just believe it. Yep.
Right. And so I agree with you, Monique. I mean, look, these videos are getting shared now. People are like, let me push back on this. This is not accurate information. And there are some things you could potentially like parse out that like in 2010, she fought against a ballot measure for recreational pot. That was in 2010. In 2016, she stayed on the sidelines when it was passed. And in 2018, she started publicly supporting it, legalizing it. So there was an evolution, right? The same way the politicians evolved on gay marriage, right? Like, so this happens. And that I think that can be explained. Yeah. Right. So, like the conversations going forward, because that's a big one. Danielle and I, have been talking about it nonstop, is these Black people out here like, I mean, she locking up Black people and, these cats that were truant. Also, yes, we can say something about the law that like weed was illegal. Like, and that has since changed, but we could argue that. But there was a law. Sounds like you may have broken it. Like, what we talking about? Like, okay, like, I'm sorry, she was doing her job. We mad at her for doing her job. Okay.
Right. And another thing someone pointed out is that people are talking about all these Black men were locked up and sentenced to jail, but you're not thinking about the Black and brown people who were the victims.
Exactly.
So what about them? Okay, these people committed crimes. We didn't make them commit any crimes. Kamala Harris did not create. She did not pass the bills to make become law these acts that were criminal. She didn't pass any laws that says marijuana is illegal. She didn't pass those laws. She wasn't the arresting officer. She wasn't the judge sentencing these people to however many years that were being put behind bars. Let's be mad at the real people who you should be mad at. Yeah. I'm directing it to the Black woman who was doing a job.
Right.
Okay? Please not. And, sadly, we don't always do well with nuance. Because, if we want to talk about the crime bill and how everybody was up in arms about that, but Black churches supported that. There was, there's a lot of Black orgs, because to your point, Danielle, you had neighborhoods being decimated by the drug wars, right? Like it's complicated, right? Yes, overboard. Yes, problematic, but there were problems that needed to be addressed. Maybe not the best solution, but it wasn't just the whole like, oh, white people swooped in without any input from Black people. They were like, we need help.
Yeah. and Black communities have been fighting for help, because so many times we're the victims of these crimes, whatever, crimes in our community, we're the victims. When we call the police, they don't care. Or they just, they lump you in.
Or they shoot you. Or they shoot you.
Right. But they lump you in. I mean, I live in Inglewood. And I'm from the DC area, Maryland. And, I had never really interacted with police, but I remember something happened on my block, and I'm like, because I'm trying to be in a safe situation. And they're looking at me like I'm a criminal, or like you shouldn't live here. You know what I mean? And it's like, there's no respect for the people that, are living in communities trying to raise their families, and are dealing with people not helping them with the crimes that are like making it so difficult for their families to survive.
Right. And that's the thing about a reworking of our neighborhoods, right? Which is valid. And so again, participate, not just in the national elections, participate in your local elections. Who are your county supervisors? Who are your wards of your, like if you live in Chicago, wherever you live, who's on your school board? Okay. Like all these people who just registered to vote, stay involved. Yeah. Right. Like holler. I'm sorry, go down to the sheriff's office, be like, yo, what's up? You know what I mean? Like, don't go by yourself though. You mean like have your camera on. You know what I mean? Be on IG
Live when you're doing it.
Yeah, go live.
like TikTok live. I don't know, but you know what I mean? Like, but get involved, right? And stay involved. So this is how you make change.
And also, speaking of staying involved, all these people who, the two-party system is so terrible and it's disgusting and it keeps us down and there needs to be third party. Yes, we've been saying, first of all, you're not the first one to say that. We've been saying it this shit for umpteen motherfucking years. When I remember when I was 14 fucking years old, watching who Bush Senior and somebody else, I don't know, at the time.
Ross Perot fucked us, but keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, and it was like, we do need a third party. This is a terrible system. So you guys aren't the first ones to ever think about this. Also, the time to not vote or to vote for a third party is not an election year. It's let's start doing some organizing, start planning.
Get it going now.
Right. That's when you start getting on your third party shit. That's when
you gotta build it. It can't be something.
It ain't happening. It ain't motherfucking happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because your protest vote is gonna end up having you living in 1910.
In the Handmaid's Tale.
Monique, so I on Monday's show, I said one way you can do your part in addition to voting, your family, your friends, all right? Those who got these crazy views or like got misinformation. I'm not even saying you got to do phone banking. You ain't got to knock on doors. You can stay right in your living room hollering at your people, okay? Yep. And so ordinarily on Facebook in particular, there's certain comments that I would just ignore for people I know in real life, okay? Because we all know people be saying wild shit. Lately, I have started to engage, and if y'all see some grays in a couple weeks, it is because I'm engaging. But this is me trying to calmly, as much as I can, say, okay, so what we talking about? Because I have a relative who was like, I'm not voting. Oh, no, I'm sorry. She just cleaned it up, said she is voting, but not for either of the candidates. Okay, so you're not voting. You're not basically, that's a vote for crazy man.
Right.
And so I'm calmly engaging. I'm gonna have to find some more information, Danielle, like what we already shared about what's the truth about her Kamala's record. Also, while she's been vice president, I thought the word imperialism. I don't know. There's a lot to unpack, but I'm trying. Okay, yeah. I am trying. So that's what we can see. Yeah, Karen said if I see Jill Stein's name one more time.
Also, Cornel West. If you motherfuckers sit out there talking about some Cornel West, if you don't ignorant ass down,
it's just not.
And you know what? We've also Antoine and I have said this often. People don't eat, sleep, breathe politics the way those of us. If you on this show, look, Marnika, if you are a guest on this show, if you a co-host on this show, you are in it, right? Like you know what's popular. You know who the president is. Okay, there are people on these streets who don't. They don't. They're not paying attention. In fact, on Sunday, like Sunday evening, they were out on these streets talking about like, hey, the news, and somebody's like, what happened? Okay, fine, right? Okay, so just keeping that in mind, there are people who are really not tapped in, and that's fine. When I'm trying to tell you something else, I would love for you to trust what I'm telling you. Like,
right.
Please.
Like I've vetted it. And that's the thing. Like there's people who trust you because they, your character, your integrity, your knowledge, that it does help to, talk to. There was someone on Facebook who was really hyped about the women who raised all the money. And they're like, I wasn't really participating. I haven't voted in a while, but that really got me hyped. And I was like, please come on back, sir, and let's get your vote in. And he just did a like. He didn't argue with me. So I'm like, welcome on back. Come on in. We would like to receive. You need to get to voting.
We can't
have this.
We can't have it. We can't. And
your non-vote or your vote for a third party at this point, what is at stake? You have two choices.
You do? That's it. Go ahead.
In terms of what is the reality? What is the reality?
And again, the stay involved piece, because we saw in 2008, yes, everybody went out and the old 100-year-old grandmamas was out there voting and everything. And in 2010, y'all motherfuckers dropped the ball and stayed your asses home and see what the fuck had happened.
Right.
We could have got a whole bunch more shit passed in addition to healthcare had we kept okay, like exactly what Danielle said. Y'all step back. They're like, oh, Barack ain't on the ballot again. Well, I'm stay on. No,
that's not how this works.
No, please no.
That's not how this works.
It's not.
But people do forget, and it's like I think people are more aware now. Like the judges matter, the local stuff really matters. That's your day to day, and that's when the cases go up, they start here.
Right. Well, now also with the abortion, right, and now making the presidency a king, which won't that be funny when Kamala becomes president, girl. So, okay, before I stay there though, and this is one thing what you said, Monica, that I want to emphasize again, something we talked about on Monday. If y'all fuck around and let these white supremacists back into the White House, like that one, the main one in particular, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. They have been terrified since we got Barack into the White House, right? They're like, this brownie of America, you motherfuckers ascending to power on this level. No. So yeah, it will be a whole reworking any progress that we've made. Done. And
they've already started it. So it's like you have to see it. I mean, as far as I can see, they're 60-70% there. We have like so much work to do to like push it back.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You know, let alone if that happens. And then you have JD Vance coming in the background to take the reins the next time.
39 years old.
And they talking about let's just keep the president forever. Bullshit. Like, I don't even understand what these people are like. Is it just racism? Like, what? Well, suddenly we want.
There's an element of the cult, right? There's a cult. Yeah, but then the fact that you asked them, they're like, no, I think I could be okay with a dictator. I could be okay with him as a dictator. Okay.
Just sorry. Him? Like what? Like, does it depend?
Sorry. Okay. We're gonna keep it pushing. Because I said an hour. We're now like 11 minutes over that. Biden addressed the nation tonight, and I don't have full details, but he said this is one key thing. He said he reveres his office, but he loves this country more.
Yeah.
Right. Like he understood what needed to happen. He understands the transition of power. He respects it because he's not a crazy person. Right. He loves look. America is still an idea, and we still have to make it work. It's not on autopilot. As if y'all don't figure this out yet, it is not on autopilot. We have to put in the work to keep this country, to keep our democracy. He is still president until Monday, January 19th. And I was so as soon as we get Kamala in, I need him going ham.
Oh yeah, go off.
I need him going ham. So thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. And I'll be back next Wednesday with somebody joining me. I don't yet know who. I'm not trying to monopolize all Danielle's time, but it might be Danielle. Mornike, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thanks everyone for welcoming me. It was great.
Yeah, no, this was fun. You'll have to come back.
I'll come back.
Yay, good. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be back next Wednesday. I'm sorry, Tony, did I say he's in office? Inauguration next year is January 20th, which is Martin Luther King's birthday. And that's the holiday. And it's also the 60th presidential inauguration. So
loving it.
Also, I will quote Antoine, toodles to you niggas.
I wasn't ready for that. Bye.